Aquarion follows the story of Apollo, a near-feral young man brought into poverty, who is believed to be a legendary hero reincarnated. After his best friend is taken by the Shadow Angels, Apollo chooses to become an Aquarion pilot. Aquarion are giant robot weapons that, when combined together with 3 different pilots, it becomes at full power, but it needs the heart, the body, and the soul. The story is told episodically, and honestly, that's not really that great. In my opinion, I think this show should have been an overarching plot from beginning to end, and aside from the first episode to the last few episodes, you could watch this show out of order and miss nothing. The characters in the show are a mixed bag. While I like Silva and Apollo a lot, the rest of the characters aren't really that great. You got Sirius, who's kind of just there for the food, essentially, and the only real characters that develop is Silva and Apollo. A lot of the side characters are just throwaway. As I said, the show is episodic, and you won't be seeing most of the characters after they've been introduced. The only side character I actually liked was Rena. I thought she was very interesting, and whenever she was on screen, I was always interested. The animation quality of the show is one of the strongest aspects of the show, and the animation quality is one of the strongest points of the show that I have to give. The character designs and the backgrounds are neat, and when the animation's actually going, like the 2D animation, it gets really good, especially some of the hand-to-hand combat that's in the show. I really liked it. However, the big thing holding me back from saying the animation is great is the CGI. The CGI in this show is awful. And I know this came out in 2005, but I could see someone who hates CGI not being a fan of this, even if they think the story is pretty good. And it's not Berserk 2016 bad, but the CGI animation in this is pretty bad. The soundtrack is probably the strongest point for me, because the music was just fucking awesome. I loved both of the OPs, and the EDs were really good too. The background music was awesome, and overall this just had a really nice soundtrack, and I'm actually going to miss listening to the OP, but I guess I could find it on YouTube. Overall, Aquarion had potential to be something great, and I was actually excited to watch this, but unfortunately the episodic nature of the show just kind of ruined it for me. And while personally I'm not the biggest fan of CGI, I still kind of enjoyed this, and kind of reminded me of the movie Starship Troopers, and that the CGI is awful, but the movie is very entertaining. And that's how I would look at Aquarion. CGI is shit, but it's entertaining. However, that doesn't excuse this show for having some pretty lame characters, and the story just being uninteresting. So I'm going to have to recommend that you skip it, but if you're really curious about it, you can stream it. It's on Hulu. Go watch it if you want to. And that's that. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down below what you thought of Aquarion. I'd love to talk about it. And also, does CGI ruin a good show for you? Let me know down below. Also, hey Noob, what did you think of the show?
Wait, are we recording?
Big thanks to Nia-chan, Warpbait, Miasma Senpai, and Doofy is here for supporting me on Patreon. You guys are awesome.